is going to be the nuclear missiles that's going to destroy this place called America. And this is Psalms 91, and I'll start at the first verse. It says, "He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His," and that noisome pestilence is talking about the missiles. It says, "Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence." That's talking about those nuclear missiles. Because the reason why it calls them noisome is because when they hit, you're going to hear the boom, you know? Right, they're going to make a loud noise, you're going to hear the boom, and then there's going to be cars burning, there's going to be people burning, there's going to be buildings.
Yeah, give me 2 Peter's, the 3rd chapter and the 10th verse, because that goes hand in hand with the scripture that he just read.
All right, this is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, and verse 10. And it says, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night." And you know, it's funny because Yahushua already gave, he said he already gave the signs and the signals and things to look for when he was going to come back on the earth to deliver Israel and to destroy the so-called white man, which are the Edomites and the other nations and 2/3 of Israel. He already gave the signs, and the signs are there. They're plain as day. You can see them, but only if your eyes are open, you know. So the Lord said when he comes back, it's still going to be as a thief in the night to a lot of these people. But the scriptures say that we are not in darkness, that day shall overtake us as a thief. It says, in the which the heavens...
he just read, "The heavens shall pass away with a great noise." So that goes hand in hand. That goes hand in hand with the 91st Psalms. The noisome pestilence. The noisome pestilence is talking about that great sound, that great noise in 2 Peter's the 3rd chapter. That's what that's talking about. So the Bible interprets itself. You go from one. That's why it says in Isaiah, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. So that's how you understand the scriptures, by going from one book to the next book, from one line of one chapter to another line in another chapter. All right, go ahead.
Right. So it says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. There goes a great noise right there. And the elements shall melt. Because what's going to make that great noise? Them nuclear missiles. Because when they hit, you know, when they first hit, you see the flame, the fire, and all that. At first, you don't hear anything, but then all of a sudden, you hear a big boom, you know. And then every one of them missiles that's going to be hitting, because in the book of Revelation, the 9th chapter, it speaks about how it's going to be 200 million missiles, which means that the warheads that are in those missiles, they're going to be spread out and going in different directions. And when they go out in the different directions, they're going to hit the earth, and that noise that you're going to hear is all these missiles hitting one after the other. Boom, 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 boom. And then you're going to see the earth shaking, you know, reeling back to and fro. Yeah, the wall of fire. You're going to see these buildings melting, because there's no other fire.
Terminator 2.
Right. The movie Terminator 2, like Elder Gabar just mentioned. You know, so Terminator 2, you know why? Because these movie directors, the Lord be giving them visions of the destruction. You know, He said that He shall pour His Spirit upon all flesh. So you have certain Edomites that see things that are coming in the future. You know, how they're going to be in slavery, how they're going to be destroyed, you know. So when them missiles hit this place, there's nothing else that can cause these buildings and the elements that are here in America to melt like nuclear fire. All right, and it says, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. That's talking about it's talking about the so-called white man's power structure. It's talking about the whole of America. It's talking about the whole land of Israel. And there'll be other certain places around the earth that'll get hit with some stray missiles, but they're not going to be stray because the Lord is going to guide them. But for the most part, when it speaks about the earth and where it says the works that are therein shall be burned up, means that the so-called white man's power is going to be brought down. So those missiles is what's going to bring their demise. The very thing that they use to scare the people finally into this so-called New World Order is going to be the same thing that's going to actually bring them down. And in that movie, I think it was Beneath the Planet of the Apes, they show you how these devils worship that missile. And that was a missile that's what's going to cause them to be destroyed. It says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? And these are the things that we're supposed to be speaking about. We're supposed to be speaking about the end of the world. You know, what's the next topic we're going to deal with?
Prophecies.
The prophecies.
Yeah, in other words, it ain't talking about whether Joseph and Mary didn't have sex and all that. Right now, basically what we're getting into is prophecies of the end of this man's society, man. I mean, this acorn head clown, Adiala, he only has one philosophy.
Yeah.
Mary never had sex with Joseph. That's his whole philosophy, man. You know. So we're supposed to be talking about. The scripture says, watch as well as pray. There's a lift you up your eyes on high. Hasten the day. All these different terminology that the Most High use in the scriptures, because we're looking to get out of here, man. We're not looking to try to debate on whether Joseph and Mary had sex. We already know that Joseph and Mary had sex. You know?
Right, so it says, seeing then that these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Most High. You're not supposed to take that nonchalant attitude as to, yeah, well, whenever the Lord comes, he's going to come, you know, but I'm going to make my life, you know, I'm going to try to set things up here in America, and I'm going to get me a good job, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to save up to get me a house. You ain't supposed to be thinking like that. You know, what did the scripture say? It said, having food and raiment, be there with content. So,
yeah, but you can see the times. You can't see what time you're in.
Yeah, right. That's right.
You can't see. You don't know what time you in. You got these idiots out here that's basically saying well, we don't know when the Lord's going. No, we do know when the Lord's going to come. We don't know the exact date, but we know that he's getting ready to come very soon. Like earlier, the brother mentioned Matthew's 24th chapter. You can go to Matthew's 24th chapter. You can go to Luke, the 21st chapter, and I believe you can go to Mark. What is it? The 13th chapter. And he told the disciples. He told the disciples. They asked him, "What are the signs that are coming?" And everything he mentioned is happening right now. So we're in the last days. The Lord is getting ready to come very soon.
That's right.
this is Ephesians 5:15. It says, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil.
Yeah, the redeeming the time mean you got to judge what time that you're in, because the word re means back and deem means judge. So you got to judge what time you're in, you know?
Yeah, because it says, didn't Peter said that I will stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance. So when you see things happening, the thing that should go through your mind, say, well, wait a minute, this is written in the scriptures. The Lord said that before he comes, this is going to happen, and that's going to happen. And then some people get discouraged because, you know, they say that, well, America is going to go into Iran, and we know that that's one of the major prophecies, but then you hear about it, then it doesn't happen. Then you hear about it again and it doesn't happen. Well, you have wars as well as rumors of wars. You know, so those rumors of wars, that's part of the signs, you know, to look for.
Matter of fact, go to 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, because, you know, Paul spoke to the Israelites in Thessalonica, and he basically told them, look, that you know the truth, so you're not going to be caught out there like the other people that don't know the truth. Now, that same church of Thessalonica is back here in America, all right? So let's read what he said there.
Right. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. But of the times and seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child.
Yeah, and that's another sign. All right, when they shall say peace and safety, they're always having those peace talks. Every time they have them peace talks, things get progressively worse. Go on.
It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness.
Now that's referring to us. You know, the brethren of the truth, they're not in darkness. See, we redeem the time, like it says in Ephesians 5 and 15. We're redeeming the time. We understand what time we're living in. Go on.
It says, but ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that that day should overtake you as a thief.
Right. It says that that day should overtake you as a thief, because the people that are not in the know, the day is going to overtake them like a thief. They're not going to know what the hell is going on. Matter of fact, even when 9/11 happened, we knew, you know. we weren't bugging out. You had all these people around us bugging out. We weren't bugging out because we understood what time we're living in.
And it's funny because you have examples of this in the ancient world with Noah. Even Yahweh Shai said, as the days of Noah, so shall it be with the coming of the Son of Man. There shall be eating, giving, drinking, marrying, giving in marriage, until the day when Noah entered into the ark. Now, when Noah entered into the ark, the Most High himself sealed the door. As soon as him and his family, and they had all the animals in there, the Most High himself sealed the ark. You know, or the angel that was there through the word of the Most High sealed that door, so nobody can come out and nobody can come in. And then that same day it started raining and people started bugging out, coming, you know, trying to get into the ark, but it was too late. So now we have that as an example today of the same thing, and the same thing is happening today. You know, we're out there, we're teaching the word, we're telling people that the end of the world is coming. All the signs are there, everything is in place. You know, everything that the Lord said, the prophecies that the Lord said, going back to Daniel, going back to the different empires that ruled, going up into the Roman Empire falling, being down for a certain period of time, coming back up into power, breaking back, reviving itself back as in the ancient times, you know, which today is through NATO, the EU, America, you know, and all these different European countries. And you see everything happening the way the Lord said it was going to happen, but people are still not going to be aware. It's still going to take them as a thief in the night. So that's why you're going to get what you deserve. All right, so it says, ye are all children of the light. And
right, meaning children of the truth.
Right, it says, and the children of the day. It says, we are not of the night nor of darkness.
Right, it says children of the day, meaning we have the truth. When you have the truth, you're like a person that's walking in the day. You can see what's going on. You can see where you're going. Right. When you have the night, you can't see where you're going. Groping. All right, you're groping, like it says in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Go on.
It says, therefore, let us not sleep as do others.
Right, let us not sleep, meaning let us not act like we don't have the truth. The people that are sleeping are the ones that don't have the truth. They're sleeping to what's going on. That's a metaphor for those that are blind to the truth.
And it says, but let us watch and be sober.
Yep, and that links up with, just like Elder Tar said, Matthew 24, Mark 13, and Luke 21. Yep, Luke 21. So we're going to continue that on the street.